Hey guys, it's Rohan, and today I'm going to be reviewing the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder. WOPET was kind enough to send Sultan one of their units a week ago, and so for one whole week we've been using this thing to feed Sultan his lunch and dinner. So we have a whole week's worth of experience, and I actually have a lot of great things to say about it. But let's start with the most important thing, the price. So the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder will set you back $109.99 CAD, or $89.95 USD. For that price, what you're going to get is an automatic pet feeder that has 4 programmable meals a day with the ability to skip meals. So if your pet is like Sultan and doesn't eat breakfast, you can simply turn off the breakfast meal option. You get the option to customize the size of each meal on a scale from 1 to 39. More on that in a minute. And you get the ability to record your voice, or any sound for that matter, that will play while the food is being dispensed. So what do you get in the box? When you open the box, you're going to be greeted with the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder that comes with the large food dispenser already installed. Inside the WOPET unit, you have the bowl, the power cable, the small food dispenser, and the instructions. Assembly is actually very simple and easy. All you need to do is attach the bowl, like this. It just clicks in. And that's it. Like I said before, the WOPET already comes with the large food dispenser installed, so if you're going to use that size dispenser, then attaching the bowl is the only assembly required. If you need to switch to the small food dispenser, then you'll have to do an extra step of assembly that requires you to unscrew these 6 screws here and attach the small dispenser and insert the 6 screws again. After assembly, the next step is to power on the unit. This is where the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder gives you options. Your first option is to use the cable that comes with the unit. You simply plug it into the back and then plug it into the wall. If you don't want to use the cable in fear of someone tripping over it, or if where you want to place the WOPET feeder doesn't have access to an outlet, then you have the ability to use 3 D-cell batteries, which makes this pet feeder that much more portable. It should be noted that the D-cell batteries are not included, so you have to buy those. The final way to power this thing is to actually use both the cable and D-cell batteries together. The way this arrangement works is that the unit will be getting its power from the outlet all the time, but let's say in the event of a power outage or a blackout and you're away from home, then the unit can still function using the 3 D-cell batteries, and your dog or cat can still be fed on time according to the schedule you programmed. So after powering it on, the final step before you can start using the WOPET Automatic Feeder is to set the time and program the feeding schedule. The WOPET unit has a nice and well-labeled LCD screen and buttons to help you program your pet's feeding schedule. The first thing is to set the time. This works pretty much like setting a digital alarm clock. Simply hold time and hour until you see this flashing. And then while still holding time, you can start to press the hour button to change the hour. To change the minute, you have to hold the time button and press the minute button repeatedly to change the minute. The next thing you can do is program your feeding schedule. Like I mentioned before, the WOPET Automatic Feeder can program up to 4 meals, which are breakfast, lunch, dinner, and last meal, simply called meal. You don't have to use all the meal options and can turn them off by holding the desired meal button such as breakfast and then pressing the on and off button. You can schedule what time you want your meals to be by holding down the desired meal button and pressing the hour and minute button. You can also change the meal size by holding the meal button and pressing the meal size button to cycle through size 1 to 39. The numbers correspond with a serving size. So you guys can get a better idea of how the serving sizes looks. This is what size 39 looks like. It's about 4.5 cups. This is size 1. And this is size 15. I think you guys get the idea. The next thing that you can do is program the voice recording that will play while the food is dispensing. The voice recording plays a total of 3 times while the food is being dispensed. You don't have to use this feature, but if you want to, then all you have to do is hold the mic button and wait for the LCD display to flash. When it flashes, then it's time to start talking. To hear your message, just hold the play button. I think these tiny holes are the microphone. My advice when recording your voice is to speak very loudly and clearly. After this, your WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder is pretty much ready to be used. Just push the button to unlock the lid and pour your kibbles inside. The unit can hold 7 pounds of food, which equals to around 20 cups of kibbles. I like how the lid is transparent so you can tell when the food supply is getting low. Here's Sultan's first reaction to the WOPET feeder in action. So we had the meal size set to 39, and as you can see, it's actually a little bit too much for the bowl to handle. For the larger meal sizes, the WOPET feeder will actually stop dispensing food until more room on the bowl is made. This would naturally come about while your pet is eating and clearing room on the bowl. But like I mentioned before, the bowl seems a little too small. You can see Sultan is spilling his kibbles onto the ground because the bowl and its rims are not big enough to properly service the larger portions of the meal size system. So if you have a bigger dog that will use a size 25 to 39, then definitely place a mat underneath the unit. Smaller and medium-sized dogs will be just fine. The unit can be disassembled to be cleaned. You can take the bowl out just as easy as installing it, and the container where you put the kibbles can simply be pulled out from the unit to wash. So who is the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder for? It's for anyone who wants to establish an eating schedule that their pets can rely on. I also think the owners that this is going to matter the most to are those who are forced to leave their pets home alone for long periods of time because they have work and no one at home to feed them. Fortunately for us, there's always someone home to feed Sultan and take care of him, but we're very happy to have the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder because we struggle to keep track of who feeds Sultan, and so sometimes he gets more food than he should. The reason I like the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder is because it's very easy to assemble and disassemble for cleaning. It has a small and large food dispenser. Setting the time is easy, turning on and meals is simple, setting the meal times is easy, programming the food size is easy, recording your voice is simple. There are 3 options for powering the unit. It has rubber legs to make sure the unit doesn't slide too much. The lid is transparent so you can see when the food supply is getting low. The lid opens with a button and locks so you don't have to worry about your pet bumping into it and spilling the kibbles out. The only thing that bothered me was that the bowl seems a little too small for the larger meal sizes, and the rims don't seem tall enough to make sure your dog is not spilling some of the kibbles onto the ground. But other than that, I definitely recommend the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder. I think it will help owners who are away from their homes for long periods of time, and it will help to establish an eating schedule your pet can rely on. I would like to say thank you to WOPET for sending Sultan their automatic pet feeder, and included in the description of this video are links to purchase the automatic pet feeder for both Canadian and American Amazon. Thanks WOPET. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
Personally, combo